Hello, children. Welcome to Enjoy Stories. In this series, we will be reading one story every episode. This is a part of my endeavor to encourage children to take to reading and collect books. Wishing all the very best. Today, we will be reading the story Sleeping Beauty, Part 1. Long ago, there lived a king and queen who said every day, "If only we had a child." But for a long time, they had none. One day, when the queen was bathing, a frog crept out of water to the land and said to her, "Your wish shall be fulfilled. Before a year has gone by, you shall have a daughter." And since frogs are such magical creatures, it was no surprise that before a year had passed, the queen gave birth to a baby girl. The girl was so pretty that the king could not contain his joy. He ordered a great feast and invited all friends, family, and acquaintances. He also invited the fairies in order that they might be kind and bless the child. There were 13 of them in his kingdom, but as he had only 12 golden plates for them to eat, one had to be left out. No one was saddened by this, as the 13th fairy was known to be cruel and spiteful. At the end of the amazing feast, each fairy presented the baby girl with a magic gift. One gave virtue, second gave beauty, the third gave riches, and so on, with everything in the world that anyone can wish for. When 11 of them had presented their gifts, the 13th fairy suddenly appeared. She was very angry and wanted to avenge herself for not being invited. Without hesitation, she called out in a loud voice, "The king's daughter shall in her 15th year prick herself with a spindle and fall down dead." Then without another word, she turned round and left the room. Everyone was shocked, and the queen fell to the floor sobbing. But the 12th fairy, whose good wish still remained unspoken, quietly stepped forward. Her magic could not undo the curse, but she could soften it. So she said, "It shall not be death, but a deep sleep of 100 years into which the princess shall fall." The king, determined to prevent the curse, gave orders that every spindle in the whole kingdom should be destroyed. No one in the kingdom was allowed to tell the princess of the curse that had been placed upon her, for they did not want her to worry. Over the years, the gifts of the fairies came true one by one. The princess grew to be a beautiful, modest, good-natured, and wise that everyone who saw her could not help but love her. It happened that on the very day when she was 15 years old, the princess awoke early. She was up so early in the morning that she realized everyone else was still sleeping. So she wandered about the whole place, looking at rooms and halls as she pleased, and at last she came to an old tower. She climbed up the narrow winding staircase and reached a little door. A rusty key was there in the lock, and when she turned it, the door sprang open. In a little room sat an old woman with a spindle busily spinning her flax. "Good morning, Granny," said the princess. "What are you doing?" "I am spinning," said the old woman. "What is the thing that rattles round so merrily?" asked the princess, and she took the spindle and tried to spin too. But she had scarcely touched the spindle when it pricked her finger, and in the very moment when she felt the prick, she fell upon the bed that stood there and lay in a deep sleep. Hope you all enjoyed watching this, children. Thank you, and we will meet again with part 2 of this story.